Hey guys, Aaron here. Back again, sitting here with my NA beer, nice O'Doul's, continuing that 3 year sobriety wave. Yay me. Um, it's weird, at this point. It's very, when I was hell, even 19, 20 years old, I was still talking about, oh well, I'm gonna be a rock star and I'm gonna this and I'm gonna that, and if I drink myself to death or die of whatever, it's gonna be cool, and then oh okay, haha. And now it's like it's as far as the drinking goes, it's such a world. It seems like such a world away now, and not that. Uh, not that there's not that I'm I'm above that now. And it's day to time process, and there's days that I'd punch a llama for a beer, a real beer, and um, I was fortunate. I never had like the shakes, and I never was like physically addicted or anything like that, but mentally, 100%. And I was just very anyway. It's just better that I quit, better for everybody. And so here I am, 3 years in, and doing all right. And we'll continue to go. It was 3 years on the 4th of August, and so I was on vacation, had a good old time. Um, and like I said, we'll keep it going. A big reason why I wanted to do this was because I've been going to therapy, and my therapist wanted me to journal, kind of. And I write all the time. I'll write songs and I'll write lyrics and this, that, and the other. But I don't really like long hand write that well, or that often, I should say, because it's just I write really fast and it's all jumbled and whatever. So I was like, well, excuse me, I like YouTubing, I like podcasting, I like it. So I was like, I'll do that, and share it with you lovely people. And if you like it, cool. If you don't, it's more for my mental health anyway. So you don't really care. So it don't matter. Um, but no, so this is very raw, very rough draft, kind of, I guess. Even though I'm gonna turn it in as a final print, we'll see what you guys grade me on it. But you know, sitting here with my Naruto shirt on. Never seen an episode, never read an issue of the manga, but you gotta love anime. So all my anime fans out there. Um, I have been reading a lot. I'm actually pretty close to finishing Stephen King's Sleeping Beauties that he wrote with his son Owen King, and it's a pretty good book. And if you haven't read it or anything like that, it's based in West Virginia, and it is pretty cool. So all of my WVU proud people out there, um, check it out. It's good. It's not really like a horror book, and it's not really like gross or anything. I know a lot of people have issues like that when it comes to Stephen King and everything, and it's really not that bad. So, um, that's a good kind of a good thing to keep your mind off of things too. If I'm one thing I've noticed, especially um when I first quit drinking, it was a lot of it was more of a habit for me. And so it's kind of like when I quit smoking cigarettes. It was very okay, how do you break the habit? What do you do? So, when I quit smoking cigarettes, the first time I used a vape, and then till it died, and then I quit it, and then I chewed toothpicks. And so now it's like, well, with alcohol, okay, that's great, and the NA beers, they do help, but it's a matter of because here's the thing: as good as these are, and as many as they make, and they taste, and they're great, and all this kind of stuff, eventually there is going to be the day, and there's been a couple of days like this, where I want a beer. I don't want an NA beer. I don't want a beer. I don't want the Budweiser that tastes exactly like Budweiser. I want an alcohol filled Budweiser. And it's a matter of, you just have to get through that day. And when people say take it a day at a time, they really mean that, and it really is how it is, because you can look at it as a long term thing, and I can look at it, as Here I am 3 years sober. It's been a long journey, and it has, and all that. But I still have to look. I still have to not drink today. That's my goal. I have to wake up tomorrow and make sure I didn't drink today. So that's where it is. And these, like I said, these NA beers really help with that because I like the taste of beer. So there's that. And so if there's ever that day that I'm just and people that I'll go out here, people that smoke cigarettes, you know what I mean? When I used to smoke, people that smoke cigarettes know that a vape's not going to cut it, nicotine gum is not going to cut it, a fake cigarette is not going to cut it. You need a cigarette. And that's the thing. So it's anybody that's out there doing their thing, whether you're quitting like drugs, alcohol, cigarettes, something, whether you're quitting, junk food. People tend to make fun of, not make fun of really, but maybe kind of make junk food and eating disorders and things like that maybe less than they are. But as somebody who has like a weakness for junk food, I really do. And it's not like I don't have like I'm not obese or anything like that, but I mean, it's sweets are hard. So for people, so anybody out there, my point is anybody out there doing their thing, no matter what it is, no matter what they're ailed with or whatever, and you're struggling, just do what I make it through the day. You know what I mean? You make it through the day and you have succeeded. You make it through the hour. It's a thing. It's just a process. You have to figure out your way through it, and you have to figure out what you're going to do, today that makes tomorrow better. So right now I'm doing a lot of that. I'm trying to figure out what's in here. I'm trying to figure out who I am. I'm trying to figure out, because that's the thing. Yes, I'm 3 years sober, but I don't think I've ever really. There's still a lot of things I'm working, a lot of demons I'm working out. Hence me going to therapy. I don't. It's very. It wasn't as when I was still in the thick of drinking, and I knew like I need to quit. You know, before I did, when I knew I needed to quit, I kind of had that like thought of, okay, once I'm done drinking, my problems will be over. And no, it's not. My problems, some of them are still the same and even worse for that matter. But I just don't have that crutch anymore. I don't have that alcohol, I don't have that drink to come home to or whatever it is. And, I mean, so it's now, and I'm happy for myself. I'm proud of myself, but it's still finding that outlet to where you can vent and you can do that. And for instance, playing guitar helps me tremendously. But any of my guitarist friends out there, musicians, no matter what you play, they will tell you, some days you'll be playing whatever it is that you love to play and you just want to punch a hole through the wall because you can't figure out that chord, you can't write that riff, you can't, whatever it may be. And so some days your most passionate part of your life can become your worst enemy just like that. And for me, it was something as simple as like when I first started playing guitar, playing the F chord. I'm telling you right now, I wanted to get rid of my guitars over learning the F chord because for me, I don't, some people are just like, how's it? It's easy. It's easy. And it was the hardest chord for me to learn ever. And, and now I don't, if I had given up, I wouldn't be nearly the guitarist I am now. And even if I wasn't a good guitarist, the fact that I'm able to play that F chord and still play certain songs to like calm myself down for my own therapy, it's good because now I wouldn't be able to play "Learning to Fly." I wouldn't be able to play "Thrash Unreal." There's so many songs that I would not be able to play had I not learned that chord. So, you know, that's the thing. You got to get to that point where you want to push forward and you want to make it. And that's not me being a life coach. That's just saying what I did for myself because I'm nowhere near a life coach. You shouldn't listen to most of my advice. I'd say these are just my experiences, and this is just kind of how I've done the take it a day at a time method, and it's working for me. I'm glad about it, and I hope to continue it. I hope I want to be 80 years sober, kind of thing. I want it to be one of those deals. Um, I don't want to be 80 though. But that's the other thing too. When you think about time, you think how far ahead it is. When when we're so it's like I said, there's part of me with this, with not drinking. I think of, you know, my first year sober, I was in Colorado, and I couldn't think of a better way to celebrate it. Had the family there. Matthew and Stephanie were there. It's just a really, got to see them. It's a really good week, but then I think about how long ago that was. Really, I mean, and it's like I wouldn't trade it for the world, but it's a lot of stuff have happened since. A lot of stuff has happened since then, and it, I think as long as you're trying to make the next day better, do better than you did the day before, even if you're Mr. Rogers good, I think you should try to be better. Because here's the thing: at the very least, you're going to fail and be as good as Mr. Rogers. So uh, it's just a very cool thing to be aware of, my surroundings, and what I'm doing, and being present instead of being drunk, or even at least not being whatever, and it's very nice to um, it's just very nice to be able to be in that mindset, because I kind of forgotten what that mindset was like, because even though towards the end of me drinking, I wasn't like a drunk every night. There was a period where I was. I mean, there was a period, it was like a 6 beer minimum, and for somebody of my size, it's not that much to get me drunk. I mean, I know a lot of alcoholics. They'll be like, don't talk to me about that. I drink a gallon of vodka a day, and I get that. Um, I was never that bad, but I mean, there was a period of time where, like I said, I was drinking a 6 pack minimum a night, and then I'd usually go to the bar. I mean, that was kind of my pregame, and now, you know, I'll have one, two of these a day. Sometimes I wouldn't even have one, and that's fine, because I'm actually at the point now where I appreciate things, and I will, you know, like I look forward to that beer. I look forward to that cigar I might have. I look forward to these things. And that's where I think we need to be. I think we need to step back as a society and, appreciate the little things, because life's made up of a bunch of little things. Um, people, I'm not going to mention any names, but I've recently been going to church, and um, I've been going with a very dear friend of mine, who I've known since, I mean, we might as well say birth. I think it was like kindergarten. Um, and he is now not able to um, take care of himself ever. Never will be able to. And it's a very, so when I see things like that, and then I see, even though, yes, being sober, becoming sober, it was great for me and my family and everything, and the rest of the world for that matter. It's such a, it's such a white collar problem. It's such a, I'm glad I did it. It's good for me. But like, when you really think about, and that was kind of the thing that I noticed when I would be, you know, getting drunk and sloshed and having these pity parties, and then I'm looking back and I'm like, I used to, you know, I'd be curled up on a bar stool, wang about myself, and it's like, I don't have problems. I have issues, but I don't have real severe problems. I'm not homeless. I'm not this. I'm not that. And I think one of the things that I've learned since coming out of the pandemic, and I know that I know everyone, that's just a trigger word for some people because you just don't want to talk about it. But one thing I've noticed is I think everyone has put their guard up so much that we don't really like to even. It's like talk anymore, because I'm not saying everyone is, this great, wonderful, sunshine person, but I've noticed that people from day to day, when it comes to um, just normal thing. They're just more bitter and mean and more kind of off put by just about everything that there is. For instance, when we were coming back from vacation, we stopped at a gas station and we were tired, and so we stopped and took a rest, and most people, not a not a bad deal. Okay, fine, that's great. We're sitting there, and then the attendant comes out and he's like, guys, you got to move now. On a normal, okay, we can't have this. I need you to move. Fine. You come out and say, guys, I'm really sorry about this, but we can't have you sleeping here. Blah blah blah. He comes out and he goes, you guys need to go. And then we tried to say something to him. He's like, no, you guys need to get the f- out of here. And it's like, come on, there was no need for it. You didn't have to say that. So we beeped the horn and flipped him off. Not great on our part, but it's just be kind. Be decent. Golden rule it, people. And that's one thing that I've really. I know that I'm not a perfect person. I'm not a perfect person every day. I know I make mistakes. Everyone does. But the thing is, you're supposed to acknowledge it and try to learn from them. And so, one of the things that I've been able to do since I've been sober is I haven't been as reactive about things. I instantly get mad about stuff, sure, but I don't necessarily fly off the handle. And that's like that guy. Like the drunken me probably would have gone in there and at the very least got into a verbal fight with him. And not that he didn't deserve it, but I mean, it probably would have escalated and gotten worse. But like the sober me, yes, I'm mad about it. Yes, this, that, and the other. Yes, the guy deserves to, spill his coffee down his leg. But it's just more of a like, is it really worth my time? No. So even though I'm still bad about my anger, and I'm very quick to anger, and you're not supposed to be, and all that. I still try to goals. You know what I mean? Pick your battles. Jamie says to me all the time, and she's right. You pick your battles. I'm not gonna go. You know, there's no need to go fight that guy over that. He's annoying. He's a douche. Whatever. Fine. But there's going to be a day that comes when there really is a battle that needs to be fought, and I need to prepare myself for that. And I don't mean I'm not talking to go strapping guns to myself and stuff. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about there's going to be a time where I need to defend myself or my family verbally, and I'm going to have to be there to do it. And there's going to be a time and a place. So one of the things I've learned as far as being sober, like I said, is to not be as reactive, and even though I'm still very bad about it in a lot of ways, I don't, at least to the level I used to, fly off the handle. Like I'm not getting in drunken bar fights. I'm not, I don't have to wake up the next morning and go, oh God, what did I do last night? There's not that anymore. And that's a huge, you know, relief off my shoulders and a weight off my shoulders. So now, even though, yes, I still have these problems and I still have these issues, you know, it's more of a process. Like I said, it's more of a maybe take time and think. And even though, yeah, I wanted to go sock that guy's lights out like nobody's business. Like I wanted to, every bad thing you could think of. But once again, pick your battles. I'm not gonna do that. I wish I would have. I regret not doing it, but in reality, it would have done nothing. I would have gotten 15 seconds of satisfaction, maybe, assuming I didn't get my ass kicked, which probably would have happened, and then I would have gotten a lawsuit on me. So you just got to be more willing to mellow, willing to, kind of just let yourself be calm. And, that's just one of the lessons I've learned since being sober. I know there's a lot more I'm going to learn, and I know there's already more that I have learned. I'll probably talk about those later on. But, for now, I just wanted to kind of get that off my chest, kind of, you know, talk about, just like I said, just have something to talk to, a vent. And if you guys like it, great. I'll probably say this a lot. If you like it, great. If not, I'm sorry, but I'm doing it anyway. But I'll be back on here to talk about some more crap that you guys don't care about. But until then, take it easy.